Limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he off of the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. Listen, you back with another one watching Off Script. Listen, it's a late show because I had to release. Okay, So it's a lot. That's a lot going on in this thing, and I'm gonna break it all down. But before we do that, make sure you like the stream. All right, like the stream. Like the stream. All right. Whoa. It's been a long 24 hours. I will say that it's been 24 hours. Yeah, it's been 24 hours. It's been a long 24 hours. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. You know, listen, you know why you're here. Okay. You know, we both know why we're here. Okay. So listen, before I get started, if you haven't seen Deion Sanders' response, I'm going to play it for you. Okay, I'm going to play it for you right here. Exclusive. This is exclusive. Nobody. Listen, okay. This is exclusive Deion Sanders' response. Nobody else has this video clip. It was sent to me by an anonymous source close to the situation. Okay? Oh, so I'm just trying to listen. I had to cite my sources before I dropped it. I had to make sure. I gotta put asterisks on exclusive. Okay, let me put some asterisks on exclusive because you know that's how the news reports do it. Let me see. Okay, there you go. That's how the news reports do it. Exclusive. Okay, so I just want to be very clear. I had to cite my sources. You know, I got to be very cautious out here in these YouTube streets. I could get caught for slander. Okay, got to be very confident on this. So let me play you the video clip because all you know now, all you see now is Deion's written. All right, he had a behind the scene video clip. Let me show you that. Exclusive only here on Off Script, okay? Exclusive.
Go get it. 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 Oh.
That is exclusive footage of Deion Sanders' response. Okay, exclusive footage. Only here on Off Script, okay? That is exclusive footage only here at Off Script. Listen, you can't find this video anywhere else in America. If you're new to the channel, this is exclusive footage of Deion Sanders' response. Okay, exclusive. Turn your TVs up.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
Oh, exclusive. That's exclusive.
I'm petty. I'm petty.
Oh,
I'm petty. I'm petty.
hey. Listen, that's exclusive footage. You can't find that anywhere else. Okay? You can't find it anywhere else. I'm telling you, I had to cite my sources. Please do not catch me for slander. All right, just want to make that very clear. Don't cite me for anything, please don't. Please don't. You know what I'm saying? Like but this is how it originally started. Okay, if you don't know, this is how it originally started. This is the thing, right? You know what? Better yet, let me play you Nick Saban. Okay, I'm gonna play you Nick Saban's video, and then we're gonna come back to this.
The consequence is going to be difficult for the people who are spending tons of money to get players. And you've read about them. You know who they are. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness.
Okay, so I want to be very clear. I'm giving you more of the clip. Okay, I'm giving you more of the clip. Okay, I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm doing.
All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it. So it's tough, and people blame the NCAA. But in defense of the NCAA, we are where we are because of the litigation that the NCAA gets, like the transfer portal. Every time somebody wanted to transfer, they'd apply for a waiver. All right, if you didn't give them, if the NCAA didn't give them a waiver so they could be immediately eligible, they filed suit. So the NCAA would back off and give them a waiver. So they just said, we're just going to make a rule where everybody can transfer. That's how that happened. So if the NCAA doesn't get some protection from litigation, whether we got to get an antitrust or whatever it is, from a federal government standpoint, this is not going to change because they cannot enforce their rules, just like Nate said. We have a rule right now that says you cannot use name, image, and likeness to entice a player to come to your school. Hell, read about it in the paper. I mean, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to the school. It was in the paper, and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. I mean, these guys at Miami that are going to play basketball there for $400,000, it's in the newspaper. The guy tells you how he's doing it. So, but the NCAA can't enforce their rules because it's not against the law. And that's an issue. That's a problem. And unless...
Okay. I wanted to give the whole clip, okay? Because I know a lot of people have just been seeing the 7-second clip of him saying of Jackson State. Now, this is my thing with what he said, and then I'm going to go back to what Deion said. Nick Saban is full of crap, okay? The NCAA is a pimp. I'm going to say it again. The NCAA is flat out pimping all these kids. No, I don't care how you want to flip it, script it, turn it upside down. The NCAA is pimping kids. So there needs to be oversight in whatever the hell the NCAA chooses to do. Because think about it. See, and this is how he plays you. This is how Nick Saban plays to the crowd, right? He'll say something like, oh, you had to apply for a waiver. Well, he didn't tell you that the kid's coach has to approve the waiver. So if I'm a kid that goes to LSU and I want to leave LSU and I want to go to Alabama, well, you're not going to give me a waiver because you don't want me going to Alabama. So tell the full story. Don't tell half the truth. Tell the full story. Now, going into what he said about Jackson State, listen, I'm going to be 100% with you. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. When I first heard it, I was like, Nick Saban is too calculated to not have either known something or done something, right? Or like knows behind the back channels. But this is where I started to kind of get a little wavy on it because he kept saying, I read it in the paper. I watched the whole clip and he said, I read in the paper. I read in the paper. I read in the paper. So it's like, are you just following? Are you reading the National Enquirer? Like, what are you reading? You know what I'm saying? Are you reading like the New York Times or are you reading like the hot sheets? You know what I'm saying? Like the back of the New York Post, you know, like the ads, the Craigslist ads, you know what I'm saying? So I was just a little iffy on that. That's where he but I'm not going to lie to you. When I first heard it, I was just like, man, Nick Saban is just a little too calculating to just come off the cuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He just a little too much to come off the cuff like that. So I'm going to be 100% with you guys. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this. I'll tell you as we go through it more, I'll explain to you where I've kind of landed on the spectrum. But okay, so this is Deion's response. So when this video dropped last night, this is what Coach Prime tweeted. He said, "You best believe I will listen." This is why I was so disappointed in his response. When a black person say you best believe, oh, sniggity, you know some stuff is about to go down. When your mama said, "Oh, you best believe," that's a guarantee. That is not like any other guarantee. You know, that's like a guarantee like try me or I'm not the one, like one of those. So when he said you best believe, I was like, oh, we about to get Florida State. We about to get the Deion's, the neon primetime Deion. I'm like, oh, that's why everybody was waiting by their phones. That's why I didn't go live early, because I wanted to hear Coach Prom's response. Like, that was all I was waiting for to go live. So he goes on, Coach Saban, I will address the lie in caps. Coach Saban told Tomorrow, I was awakened by my son that sent me the article stating that we paid Travis Hunter $1 million to play. We as a people don't have to pay our people to play with our people. That's a bar. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I would actually put that on a shirt. That's pretty dope. I just really reread that. We are people, don't have to pay our people. That's actually pretty far. That's pretty dope. Now, if you go, hold on. Let me before I go back. Now, any black person reading this, is going to say, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. That's what it is. Anybody reading this tweet is like, yo, we gonna be on your ass. Catch me tomorrow, 3:00 sharp. Don't be late. I'm gonna be on your ass. That's what this means. The response, ooh, that shit was weak. That shit was so weak. I don't give a damn what you heard about what Nick Saban backtracked and said or whatever. No, stand on your stuff. And I told my girl, and Blue, if you in the chat, I said this. This is what I said about Coach Prom. I said, I know if Coach Prom is doing something that's not legit, if he don't go live. If Coach Prom does not go live, I'm not leaning towards him, because you're trying to have a structured conversation. That's what you're trying to have. You're trying to have a structure. And I know people like, oh, Scotty, he's live right now at I Am Athlete. No. You got to go out like Jimbo. This how you got to come out. If you know you ain't doing shit wrong and you know you got all your ducks in a row, this how you got to come out.
Yes, I would. First of all, I'll say it's a shame that we have to do this. It's really despicable. It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. And they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all and the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen. And it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families in Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit here at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable. It really is. And it's a shame we have to sit up here and have this conversation about things we do. And it's personal to us? Yes, it is. It's personal to A&M. It's personal to our players. It's personal to our coaches and everybody involved. And I know the guy. Know him really well. It's amazing that we're allowed to do those things. It's really despicable. And I hate it. For our players who are coming here, who did things the right way, have done things the right way, and will continue to do things the right way, I apologize to you that people insult you publicly the way they're doing it. And our fans, I apologize to you guys for people saying those things about Texas A&M. I promise you this, there are no violations. There are nothing wrong. It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this. When people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Listen, Jimbo even took questions. Jimbo, listen, everybody talk about, oh, he wasn't live, Scotty. That Bama did a whole press conference. He did an impromptu press conference. He said, oh, Nick Saban said, what? Hey, line that shit up. Hey, line that up today. Line that up today. You telling me Coach Prom couldn't done the same exact thing? You telling me he couldn't? What? What? You gotta come. Listen, Jimbo Fisher said, this is what Jimbo Fisher said, yo, I know Nick. Okay, you might listen. You might know. You might call him Coach Saban. I know him as Nick. Okay, I know him as Nick. I know Nick, and Nick ain't about that life. Nick got skeletons all up his closet. Nick got bodies buried in the back of Tuscaloosa. I know all the bodies. I know where all the bodies buried at in Louisiana State University. I ain't going back to jail. If I do, it go be chitty, chitty, bang, bang. That's Jimbo. That's Jimbo. Okay? You know what Deion did? You know, and this is the problem that I have. I know Coach Prime, he watches social media. He watches Undisputed. Shannon had his back today. Shannon had his back today. And this is the thing. See, Coach Prime, listen, Coach Prime, no. Coach Prime should have knew. Coach Prime has the culture behind him, right? So everybody that's for the culture, they gonna be behind Coach Prime with the picket, black commentators, black players. Oh, he's an icon. When you're an icon, people are going to be on your side. Shannon riding for his boy. You got players, you got black commentators on ESPN riding for you. So you can come out and talk your shit. You can come out and talk your mess. You know what he did, man? This is what this man did. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to read this to y'all. I don't even wear a watch. I know what time it is. They forgot I know who's bringing the bag and dropping it off. I know this stuff. I'm not the only one want to play with when it all comes to all of this stuff. Coach Saban wasn't talking to me. Coach Saban wasn't talking to you. He said your school, Negro. What are you talking about? What are you talking? That's a guy that don't want to get in a fight. You know he said something about your mama. No, he ain't talking about my mama. He said your mama. My mama? And your mama, Deborah Scott? That is my mama's name. But there's a lot of Deborah Scotts. Come on, man. Coach Saban wasn't talking to me. Coach Saban wasn't talking to Jimbo. He was talking to his boosters. He was talking to his alumni. He was talking to his givers. He was trying to get money, Sanders said. That was what he was doing. He was trying to use us to get where he was trying to get to. Continue on. I haven't talked to Coach Saban. I'm sure he's tried to call. We need to talk publicly, not privately. What you said was public. That doesn't require a conversation. Let's talk publicly and let everybody hear the conversation. Sanders told. You can't do that publicly and call privately. No. I still love him. I admire him. I respect him. Jimbo Fisher ain't with none of that shit. Jimbo Fisher said, I ain't with none of that smoke. He said, bump that Bama. I don't care how long we been coaching. He's magna cum laude of college. This man just called out your whole program and you up here bigging him up. What is we doing? What is we doing? He's magna cum laude of college football. That's what it's going to be because he's earned that. Let me take this banner off. But he took a left when he should have stayed right. I'm sure he'll get back on course. I ain't tripping. You ain't tripping. You ain't tripping. What? So what does best believe mean? So what is you best believe? We as black people, we understand what that means. That's like, don't try me. That's like, don't try me. when a black person, listen, white people, I know there's some Alabama fans out here in the streets. Listen to me very closely. Listen to me very closely. If you'll never get nothing from this stream, if a black person ever tells you, you best believe, take that shit to the bank. Take that to the bank, okay? Do you hear me? Because I best believe we about to give you this ass whooping. Best believe I'm going to give you all these hands. Best believe I'm going to give you all this smoke. So if a black person says you best believe, you can take that to the bank other than Coach Prime, because he is about to lose his black card today, because I don't understand none of this. I don't understand none of the way he's saying. And then this what killed me. Oh, this what killed me right here. This one took me out. I had to read this like 5 times. He said, once upon a time, the bag was just a bag. Now there's equality among the big boys. We don't have those type of bags. We don't have the boosters and donors and givers. Sanders said, leave me out of all the mess you got going on. Leave you out the mess. Leave you out the mess. He brought you into the mess. He said your name. He said Jackson. Listen, he said Jackson State. Am I the only one that is not like, and we not, every ounce of black in me was just like, Deion, give this man the business. Because this is the thing, right? This is the thing, man. This is the thing. Nick Saban, let's call it a spade a spade. Nick Saban is God. All right, he's God for college football. Let's not act. Okay, let's not act. So what's behind Nick Saban is the white infrastructure. Okay, the white politics of college football. Right, that's what Nick Saban has behind him. He has all the white infrastructure, all the white politics. You know what I'm saying? What he says is, Deion has everybody else. Deion has everybody else on his side. Everybody. Have anybody seen Dragon Ball Z? You know what? That's not a good example. That's not a good example. You know what? You know what's a good example? A good example. Anybody seen The Matrix Reloaded? Anybody? If you've seen The Matrix Reloaded in the chat, please put yes, thumbs up. Yeah, I seen it. Da 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 da. You know what? Listen, Nick Saban is Neo. Okay, Nick Saban is Neo. You know what people go. Everybody is Mr. Smith for Deion. Do you hear me? We all would have been jumping on that nigga's ass. That's what we want. We would have all been Mr. Smith. We just jumping on him, just baiting on him. Like, all black people would have been like, hell yeah. Boom, like, that's all you wanted. That's all you wanted. You wanted Deion Sanders to be about the smoke. That's what you wanted him to be. And then this the shit you pull? This the shit you pull? I was ready. Listen, I'm telling you, I was ready to knuck if you buck. I was ready to be there. We fighting Alabama. We fighting the SEC. We fighting all white people establishments today. We with the shit. We with the shit today. Listen, I'm walking down the street wanting a white person to say something messed up, because you best believe I'm on your ass today. I was waiting for a white person to say something. You want to say something? You want to say something? You want to say something? Yeah. Best believe. Wait till Deion respond to y'all. Ooh. Wait till Deion respond to y'all. I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna be right. And then this what he pulled. This what he did. This what he did. This what he did. Left me hanging. Left me hanging.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Oh.
That's what he did. Exclusive footage. That's what he did. That's exactly what he. Oh yeah. Oh, you best believe. I'm gonna address this a lot today. Oh, and what? You went out like Ezel at the grocery store. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. But we can sell it out of court for $20. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing? The letdown was so real. I'm not going to lie to you. And this is how, and see, the letdown, and people are talking about, oh, Scotty, it's big. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, man. I'm going to tell y'all right now. If you are part of the if you are part of the Lord and Savior coaches, listen, Church of God in Christ and Sanders, okay? Church of God in Sanders. If all you want to do is be in here talking about we worship Coach Prime and whatever he do, listen, I ain't with that. Not today. Not today. He dropped the ball today. So all them Bamas of the Lord and Savior, Coach of God and Sanders, all right? House of Prime, okay? House of Prime, take y'all asses somewhere else, okay? And you know, if you don't like nothing I say, you can.
If I make you feel some type of way.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Because I'm sorry. There's too many occasions. I want to be very clear. And if you want me to get real, I'm gonna get real. You want me to get real? I'm gonna get real. Okay, I'm gonna get real. There's too many occasions of Coach Prime coming for his own people. Oh shit, Scotty. You about to, oh snap, you about to warm it up. I'm about to warm it up. It's too many occasions of Deion coming for his own people, i.e. the stolen merchandise incident. The Sterling merchandise incident. What did he do? The first thing he did after the game, somebody stole my stuff. Why people stealing? Stephen A. Smith goes on First Take. He talks about, bro, chill. That's not something you put out. You're not supposed to put that stuff out there like that. You're not supposed to do that. But we got cameras. Oh, we got this. We got that. So you will talk about something that negative, but you won't give Nick Saban that same smoke. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So then another thing. So you have the laughing incident with the quarterbacks in the spring, right? And then you come out on on your Instagram. Next day, oh, people looked at me different. You dressed in an incident like that. Anytime an incident gets addressed, you always on Front Street. Come on, Coach Prime. I don't understand it, my boy. Every time something happens, either on campus with another black person, you are the first one to go in front of a camera. In front of a camera, not a written statement. You're in front of a camera talking about, oh, how this happened. Oh, how this happened. Oh, what this do. But as soon as somebody that is not of a black complexion calls you out, you go behind a pen? You do a written statement? Why you ain't jump on camera? See, everybody looks at it two ways, right? Everybody would say, yo, Nick Saban lied. Yes, he lied. There is I don't know for a fact if he did or if he didn't. He don't have no proof of what Deion has done. So that is in his own box. He called out Jackson State for paying their players. That was wrong. Right? So I give you all that. My issue is this. This is my issue. We as the public people should not be fighting that battle. That's not about, like, you can say whatever you want to say on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. None of our opinions matter. Not even mine. My opinion don't even matter. The two main individuals who were in the scuffle need to address it. Jimbo Fisher addressed it. Jimbo Fisher came out and said, yo, you bugging, you're lying, you're stupid. I ain't messing with you no more. All right? Deion Sanders ends up praising him. Now you getting mad at me for calling out Coach Prime for what he does to black people, but won't do it to a white person? I'm in trouble for that. I'm in trouble for that. The guy who got called out for the institution that he coaches for, I get in trouble for that because I'm saying you're the guy in the fight and you want everybody else to fight for you, but you won't fight for yourself. But you won't stick up for yourself. You said these comments, not me. You said these. I didn't say this. I didn't make you come out and say that. Oh, what'd he say? Coach Saban wasn't talking to me. I didn't say that. That means he don't care what. Oh my God. That means if Coach Prom put this in a thing and he said Coach Saban wasn't talking to me, then who was he talking to? Who was he talking to? Coach Saban wasn't talking to Jimbo. Then who was he talking to? Because I don't know what you're talking about, but Jimbo Fisher took that real different.
It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. And they broke state laws.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, and you can get mad, you can turn me off, you can turn me off, you could get mad or whatever. But I'll say one thing. I don't believe Jimbo Fisher for shit. Let me make that very clear. I don't believe Jimbo Fisher for shit. But what I will say is I respect the fact that he stood up for his players the way he did. That I respect.
They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all and the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen. And it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families in Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit here at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know.
Jimbo felt that Coach Saban was talking about him. Jimbo felt that he had to stand up for himself. Jimbo felt, okay, Shannon Sharp went to bat for you. Another commentator went to bat for you. I saw some people on Twitter going to bat for him. But my question is always going to be, why didn't Coach Prime go that hard on Coach Saban? That's my only question. Why Coach Prime has never hidden behind a statement. In all the stuff that Coach Prime does, the Conor Maynard incident, the stealing of the incident, the Shamar Stewart incident, when he got mad at Shamar Stewart for going to Texas A&M and said, hey, if you want to take a bag, we don't need you. Dalen Baldwin incident, when he talked about Dalen Baldwin, when he talked about cutting the play. Coach Prime has never hidden behind a written statement. All right. Now, I know you guys are super. I know you guys are super emotional, but he has rarely, if ever, hidden behind a written statement. But I'm confused, though. I'm confused. Once again, my whole thing is this. Nick Saban called Jackson State out. Is it a lie? Who knows? I think it is. We'll see how it all plays out. Was it wrong? Absolutely. Should he have brought Jackson State's name up? Yeah. But the person that should have defended Jackson State, you got to go hard. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like Deion should have went harder on Nick Saban. I think that his admiration for Nick Saban, his admiration for wanting to be Nick Saban stopped him from going as hard as he should, because if I'm being honest, I think Coach Prime, because once again, Nick Saban has white infrastructure, white politics backing him. He has that. It is what it is. We all know in the Power 5 world, he is God Almighty in football, in college football. But at the end of the day, if Coach Prime ever had a right to shoot at the top, to shoot at the mountain, to shoot at the moon, today would have been the day. Today would have been the day. And I was just expecting more than a written statement. I was expecting a video. I was expecting what Jimbo, if I'm being honest, I was really expecting what Jimbo Fisher did. Maybe not to the extent because he hasn't worked with Nick like he has. But I think, if I'm being honest, I think the reverence that Coach Prime has for Nick Saban is what hindered him from really going hard, because everybody else is going hard. I see the Twitters. I see people talking about Twitter. Oh, they scared. That ain't, man, listen, man, they ain't got shit to do with nothing. All right. They ain't got nothing to do with. Alabama is not worried about Jackson State. No Power 5 program is worried about Jackson State. That ain't got shit to do with nothing. It's just the fact that I feel like in this situation, in my personal opinion, if I'm Coach Prime, you shoot at me, I'm shooting back, and I'm bringing a bazooka. That's just my personal opinion. So as I stay right now, I'm kind of 60-40 leaning to Jackson State, not paying Travis Hunter. But the way Coach Prime responded has me uneasy. If Coach Prime would have came out with a video like he always does on certain incidences, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's the Coach Prime I know. I'm rocking with that. But since he came behind a written statement, I can't really rock with it. That's just my personal opinion. Call lines are open, 516-259-9041, 516-259-9041. I'm not trying to be on here long. I'm trying to get in and get out. So if you don't call in the next 10 minutes, I am gone. Oh, hold on. This is business, not the streets. That's not what Jimbo Fisher said. Jimbo Fisher did not. Jimbo Fisher was dry snitching. He was doing anything possible. So I don't know what you talking about.
There are 2 participants in the conference.
Hey, Jimbo said this is the white streets for him. He is riding politically shotgun. Hey, what's up, sir? Talk to me. Hey, sir, talk to me.
Hey.
What's up?
So, for once, I actually agree with Deion, and I'm gonna tell you why. But this whole thing is actually a lot simpler than what everybody think it is. So, I'll tell you a little bit about me. The reason I know what I know, because I come from a long line of activists in Mobile. So you got to understand how these people work. Nick Saban actually was only talking to his donors and boosters. He really don't care nothing about Jackson State. It just goes to show how much he's feeling the pressure from Texas A&M. So the people who donate to Alabama and Auburn, the main donors with the longest money are plantation family and prison system on the families. Those people don't want to pay athletes up front to come play football at that school. That's not in their nature. That's not how they do things. So Nick Saban isn't getting the NIL deals that Texas A&M is getting up front because that's not how they want to do things. So the only reason he brought Jackson State in it was to convince his donors to step up. Because you just talk about Texas A&M getting the recruit class and stuff, they don't really care about that. They feel like they still going to beat them. But when you start talking about black people getting top athletes, and all of a sudden them donors going to look at each other and be like, oh, hell no, this ain't going to happen like this. I guarantee you by 2023, 2024, they're going to have the top recruiting class again. And it's going to stay that way because they're going to get all the NIL deals because the plantation money is real long, like really long. Any and every infrastructure that's going on in this country they've been investing in. The people money don't stop. It don't stop. That's why they've been able to control college football the way they have. It ain't because people want to come to Alabama, because they got the most money. That's how the NCAA works. You pay to win.
Let me ask you a question. So why did Jimbo Fisher take it so personally?
Say that again?
Why did Jimbo Fisher take it so personally?
Oh, I mean, because it's different for him. he's trying to keep up an image. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the way Deion handled it. I think Deion could have used the opportunity. I agree with you at that point. I think Deion could have used the opportunity to, really go at Nick Saban because he's definitely talking outside his neck. But Deion's not wrong in his assessment of why Nick Saban did it, is what I'm trying to say.
So then my next question would be, because if I don't know if anybody remember, he called out Texas A&M for paying Shamar Stewart as a recruit, not signing with Jackson State. And then on the top of that,
right.
the University of Miami, the basketball coach, he came out and said, like, to me, so if you're telling me that he wasn't talking about, because that's what you're saying, he was using them as an example, just like, hey, look, even this FCS school using the NIL deal can go get a top player. That's pretty much what you're saying, correct? If I'm hearing you right.
Yeah, but HBCU is probably more important than FCS in that example. But yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, I wasn't expecting him to do it this early on, but I guess that goes to show how bad Texas A&M getting under their skin right now.
Okay. So listen, man, I feel like once again, and even Nick Saban and let me show you his that apology was weak. I ain't even gonna lie to you. When he apologized, he said he didn't mean to single anybody out, and then also he said that he didn't say anything was illegal, which he did not. So my thing is saying, to me, I guess it's just, I guess this is just me taking it personally for me. If you call out my integrity, you know what I'm saying, of how I'm doing something, like, I gotta shut you down. That's just me. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? And then
at the end of the day, it's a lie. It's definitely a lie.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but this is the thing, right? It's twofold, and I know you've had a girlfriend or whatever. I know, like, when I used to date, when I was out there in the streets, and a girl would say, when you get loud, you would be lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were calm and your demeanor was pretty straight when you addressed the question or whatever, you would be telling the truth. If you got loud, angry, and started yelling, most times you were trying to do that to deflect from you lying. So I just think that if Coach Prime would have got on television and got on a video and got on the camera, behind the camera, and said, listen, man, this is what it is. That we ain't pay Travis. We don't need to pay Travis. Do you know who I am? I'm Deion freaking Sanders. Like, it just doesn't sit well with me that at every point in time throughout most of your time at Jackson State, any issue that you've ever had, you've jumped in front of a camera and addressed it personally. But then on this incident, you did it behind a written statement. It just doesn't, that's the part that doesn't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I feel you 100% because, like, even though, like I'm telling you, he is correct in his assumption. He didn't even have to, make that known. He didn't have to say that. He could have still addressed the fact that they tried him, that they using him as a scapegoat to try to push their donors' wallets out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Instead of allowing him to do it.
That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? And I think, once again, I just really feel that the reverence that Coach Prime has for Nick Saban, and I just think that I think that's a relationship Jimbo Fisher cares no more. He doesn't care about having, right? Deion cares about having a relationship with Nick Saban. That's why he didn't go as hard as he did in the written statement. Because he still wants that relationship to be like, yo, like, I know Nick, I'm cool with Nick. He gives me this insight and stuff like that. That's just my personal opinion. But hey, sir, man, I appreciate the call, bro.
Let me say one more thing. And I'm gonna address the Jimbo. So the reason Jimbo went hard is because I'm gonna just be honest with you. This Nick Saban, he got some nerve. Out of all the people want to call somebody out for paying players, I got family members who got paid to go to Bama and play football. I'll let you know that right now. Disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all the people to talk about paying some players to go play some football, this is the very last person we should be saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Why somebody paying some players? And that's what I think. That's what ticked Jimbo off so bad, because he's been doing it the whole time, breaking the rules in every kind of way. He done got people fired for criticizing the way he's been recruiting. It's unreal that he the person who's going to say something about everybody.
Hey, man, sir, I appreciate the call, bro, as always.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
So this is my thing. This is how I know. This is why I feel Jimbo lying. This is how I feel. Jimbo is lying. Okay, this Bama out here paying Bamas, and I know he lying. I don't give a damn what nobody. This Bama lying. Okay, ain't no way in hell you go from getting 1 5-star to 7 5-stars, nigga. Please, you lying. If you can do that lying, you got to do better. You got to do better, Coach Prime. That's just my personal opinion. Got to do better. Got to do better. Hey, caller, you loud. Talk to me. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Rick Mark, Coach Rick, man. I'm from Atlanta.
Talk to me, Coach Rick.
I'm riding with you, dog. Deion dropped the ball terribly on this one. Because if he's going to call Travis, if Saban going to call Travis Hunter out and say he got $1 million, can I ask a question? I ain't heard nobody discuss.
Mm-hmm.
How much did Saban's quarterback get?
Oh, he got $1 million. Bryce Young got $1 million.
He got a what? A meal?
Yeah, he got $1 million. Bryce Young got $1 million.
So he got the same thing that he said Travis Hunter got?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem? It's okay for Bryce to get $1 million. But because Travis got $1 million at Jackson State, none of you want to talk about Deion paying. So by that same formula, he paid.
This is the only difference. This is the only difference. And if Blue's in the chat, I think he can correct me, or if anybody knows this. I believe Bryce Young was already on campus before he got the $1 million deal. If I'm correct on that, I could be wrong, but I believe he was already on campus when he got that NIL deal, because he got it when he started. So I like I said, I'm not 100% correct on that.
When he was on campus is because there was a quarterback in front of him that was better.
Yeah.
But as soon as he got to Alabama, he got the money. And I guarantee you he was promised the money before he got to Alabama, and that was one of the main reasons he came.
Same thing. I'll say this. Travis Hunter. I'll say this. Listen, I'm still rocking what you're saying. I just don't. I think he was promised money, but not a meal. You get what I'm saying? Because NILs weren't established at that time. So I do think he was promised something. I just don't think it was a meal at that time. And then when the NILs hit, that's when he got the big bucks.
Right. He was one of the first ones to get a meal.
Yes, exactly.
Why is that any difference from Travis Hunter?
So this is what Nick Saban is saying.
He just happened to go start and play and contribute in his freshman year.
Hold on. This is what Nick Saban is saying. If you listen to the video, Coach, he's saying that Jackson State enticed Travis Hunter by saying, hey, we'll give you $1 million if you come to the school. That's not how NILs are supposed to be done, but that's how they're using them. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem that Nick Saban is saying that he has with it. Because if you watch the full clip, he says, I don't have a problem with NIL deals. They're great for the students. They're great for the kids. I got 25 kids on Alabama. We have over $3 million in NIL deals. I'm all for it. He said, where I draw the line at is where schools are allowed to entice kids to come to their program because of a NIL deal. That's what he has a problem with.
Okay. I got another question for you. I got one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with the gray shirt? Not the red shirt, the gray shirt, where you were told to come to school, you're not going to get a scholarship, you're not going to practice, but you'll be a part of the program.
Mm-hmm.
Who came up with that? Nick Saban.
Oh, damn, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
He gray shirts his players. They're not on scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a part of the program. They don't count. But they're in school and they're just waiting for graduation to come and a slot to open.
Somebody said Mac Brown. Somebody said Mac Brown came up with the gray shirt.
Nick Saban running it like it was his. So now, in my opinion, he ain't got no reason to be hollering about nobody because he worked the system like it's his.
Got you. No problem.
And the only problem is, whoever house you playing ball at, if it's their ball, if it's their goal, they need to win. Because if they don't play, the game gonna end.
All right.
And Saban is just saying, I don't like playing this game, and I ain't winning.
Got you.
So
hey,
now,
appreciate
y'all
the call, though,
gotta
Coach.
shut this down. You can't offer your players no $1 million. Only I can do that at Alabama. You can't do that at Jackson State. Why?
Listen, man.
Even
Listen.
if they told him they can get him $1 million, they may have an endorsement person that says, "I'll give him $1 million." What's wrong with that?
Sir, listen. I want to be very clear because I don't want to give a false narrative of what the problem is. All right. When he called out Jackson State, it's not of NIL deals that they're able to get. It is that he believed from reading the paper that he said Jackson State enticed Travis Hunter to come to Jackson State because they were going to offer him a meal. Now, he said the school, but if you watch the full clip, he's talking about collectives, he's talking about boosters, he's talking about all those people. I'm just giving you the full, if you gotta, that's what I'm saying. Like, when it comes to a clip, you got to watch the full video to understand everything Nick Saban was addressing in the aspect, because he references all the ways that NIL deals are bad. He says, look, NIL deals are bad on the sense if you're trying to entice kids to come to the school based off NIL deals. He said they're good once kids get on campus and then you give them all the NIL deals you want. That's the differentiation that Nick Saban is saying. He's cool with if you already chose to go to your school and get an NIL deal. He is not okay with if you're telling kids, yo, we'll give you this amount of money to come to the school. That's the problem with what it is. But appreciate the call, Coach. Listen, guys, listen. I want to be very clear about what the problem is, okay? The problem is this, okay? Because a lot of you guys are just emotional. You're just emotional, okay? Listen, the issue with what Coach Saban is saying, the problem that he has is not the NIL deals in itself. It's using the NIL deals to say, hey, freshmen, we'll give you $600,000 to come if you come play for us. That's what he does not like. He doesn't have a problem with NIL deal for kids on his campus or on the schools, just enticing. Oh, so he is saying Jackson State enticed Travis by offering him $1 million. That is what he is saying. Hey, caller, you loud, talk to me.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's goody? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tony from Mississippi.
All right, Tony, talk to me. I know this is going. I know who you're rooting for. Go ahead.
No. I'm gonna be real, down the line with this one. So I hear you saying this problem is with the NIL deal being enticed for the athlete to come. But let's keep it above. NIL deal been around a long time.
Facts. Now I'll give you that. Yes, you are true. You that 100% right. Go ahead, sir.
All NIL is a mask for boosters to say, hey, go do what you've been doing. That's all it is. Boosters been doing this for a while.
That's fair.
They just not have a name for it. Alabama has been known for years. I'm from South Mississippi. I take you back to a story a while back. Anybody know college football? Remember a quarterback from Daphne, Alabama, Pat White. Pat White goes on fact and telling you before he got recruited to West Virginia, Alabama had a Corvette sitting in his driveway. That's an NIL deal. It's just in a different name. That's all we're doing. We just giving a mask to what boosters been doing. So for Nick Saban to get out there and say, hey, man, I don't like NIL deals. Man, y'all been doing that for years. You entice students with, we're going to give you a brand new dorm. We're going to give you all this. We're going to give you the perks. That's all the NIL deal is. It's just the perks. Now I can put it in your hand without masking it behind other stuff. That's all it is. So I don't see why Nick Saban all of a sudden wants to catch his feelings about it when your boosters been doing that for years. They just don't have to hide behind, oh, well, I gave them a summer intern. No, you didn't. You handed money to the people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was funny. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, that's what it is. Like, I gave him a summer intern. You gave a kid a summer intern at a Cadillac dealership? Really? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm just saying. But Nick Saban has a history of getting pouty when he doesn't get his way. Go back
That's
a couple
fair.
years when they
That's
played
fair.
Texas A&M.
That's fair.
Texas A&M ran the no huddle. They were killing them with Johnny Manziel. Nick Saban came out. He had a problem with that. All it is, when it's time and football evolves around Nick Saban and he can't catch up, he cries.
That's fair.
Dabo Swinney did the same thing.
That's fair.
At Clemson because Clemson is not the hot ticket no more. So, Jackson State got roughed up in this because you got Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter wasn't going to Alabama anyway. He really stole from Florida State. So, I mean,
let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask anybody this question. And I just need I'm assuming you're a football fan. You talked about Pat White, so I know you're a football fan. If you were Nick Saban right now, right? If you had Nick Saban's team, right? And you and people were telling you you're scared of Jackson State, would you believe them? If you were Nick Saban right now, would you believe him?
No, he's not scared of Jackson State. He's scared that Deion has opened the can of worms. He's scared of what if there's another Deion, but at a power franchise. Let's put it like that. Jimbo Fisher, if Deion was at Texas A&M,
it'll be over.
Doing this,
it'll be over.
It'll be over.
Yeah, it'll be over. Yeah, you're right. Now, listen. I will. It wouldn't even be fair. It wouldn't even be fair. Honest to God, it wouldn't be fair.
So that's all it is. Because he does. I understand why Deion didn't go as hard on him. You said it yourself. He does have that relationship with him. There is some kind of reverence for him.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep it as a book. If Deion was at a Power 5 school right now,
it'll be over.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it'll be over.
It will be over.
Now I'll be scared. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I will be scared then. If Deion, listen, Deion could be at South Florida, I'll be scared. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Deion. You know what I'm saying? So I 100% agree with you. Not only that,
but the booster money you would get. Jackson State, yes, it's a proud HBCU, but they don't have that booster money.
Yeah.
If he had Southern Miss booster money, because I work down here and I go to school with a couple of Southern Miss grads, man, the stuff they will pay for a box at a stadium. Imagine what they would pay for a top 5 athlete.
That's fair. But hey, man, appreciate the call though.
All right, man.
All right, man. Peace. Hey, what's up, Wilson? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, so I got 2 issues with this. Number one, I hear people out there defending Prime. Who is defending Travis?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Whose job is that? Who is defending Travis? That's my problem. Right? Jimbo Fisher, whatever. But Jimbo Fisher gonna come out and he gonna swing just for the sake of swinging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to go back off in that locker room. So that's my thing. Like, who was defending Travis? The school, somebody got to say something. You know what I'm saying? That's my real thing with that.
So, hold on, let me answer that real quick.
Okay,
I'll say this. To be fair, if you read the whole article, he does say Travis is a baller. Travis wanted to make changes. Travis was a trendsetter. He wanted to be a Blazer. So he did big up Travis in the article, saying that Travis made a decision on his own. He wanted to be transcendent. He wanted to be different in a trendsetter. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I thought that, yes, he said that. All that had been said before, but we're talking about in this specific instance. I need more than that. Right? I need more than that. I'm up at the DMV right now. I thought I was going to be able to see that smoke signal down in Jackson from up here. Did not happen. Mm-hmm. Right? So I need more than that. I just do. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Now, I got it. If you're trying to manage a relationship and you're trying to, do a little bit of, diplomacy, be an elder statesman or something like that, because everybody was, to be honest, everybody was looking for the black guy to show his ass. Okay, I got that. Then, okay, you need to try to pull an Obama, pull a page out of Obama playbook. Mm-hmm. Have your apparatus go out there and say what they're going to say, do what they're going to do. You respond, you defend Travis, right, in a forceful way, but you let your other people, you got Shannon Sharp on, with Skip Bayless on them, they can tear him apart. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. It's still not enough, right? What he put out would have been better if he never would have opened his mouth, right? the other part to all this is, you know, I don't necessarily know if Nick Saban is scared of Jackson State per se, or if it's Deion per se. All of that aside, what he is concerned with is there is a new group of competitors in for the same group of people that he's out there recruiting for. Right now, because in this particular group, if you just say FCS period, right, there are FCS teams that now can get these guys that he's gray shirting. Somebody might be like, "Hey man, I ain't gray shirting. Forget that. I'm gonna go play." Right? It's dudes getting in the league right now. It's just more of it, right? The other thing is, in the particular for HBCU, now the HBCUs are coming to the forefront. HBCUs got something that money can't buy. We got culture, baby. You can't ain't no, you know, unless you're trying to monetize it, you can't pay me for that. If a kid just really wants to go to an HBCU for culture and he can get an NIL, what is that? Why am I sitting on the bench for 3 years or 2 years for that? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's going to get to be more, and there's, no matter how anybody feels about it, if that becomes more of a plausible decision for these kids, that's giving him problems. Because before he's had such embarrassment of riches in recruitment, you know, it's just a thing. But my whole thing is, no matter what, I need to see more of a stance for defending Travis. You know, his integrity as a person, and his integrity as a player, and then, you know, just making the university look a little better. Because no matter what, he went out of his way to put our name in his mouth. Somebody needs to go out of their way to defend it.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a quick question, Wills. Hold on, before you go. Let me ask you a question. If anything comes out differently than what Coach Prime says, what happens?
So what? Again, defend Travis. The implication was that he did something wrong. Let's play the even if game. Even if Travis has a $1 million NIL deal, right? That's like promising a player you're gonna start. He can't do it till he get on campus. So I don't understand what the whole thing about that is. But even if Travis does have $1 million NIL deal, so what? Then if that's the case, then what's the backlash for? Why go at if that's everybody's thinking? I'm seeing people saying absolutely nothing, hypocrite. So what? So then why even go at Coach? The backlash is for me. I was pressed for me. The backlash is, it seems as though you are insulted. Like, how dare an FCS? You know, and I'm hesitating to say HBCU, but an FCS/HBCU, how dare they impugn on my fiefdom? Okay. How dare you consider yourself to come and pick out my apple cart? Now, that's the only time in which, you know, those schools or these schools are actually true competitors for the same group of kids. Do we have that money? No, but I got culture. Am I going to ever meet you on the playing field? Probably not. If I do, I'll get mollywop. But that ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about getting kids in that you using to keep, you know, to make your money and keep your program going forward. That's what it is. If there is a threat, that's where it really is. But other than that, you might just be embarrassed. But I mean, if in my mind, that's really what it is. If it becomes a thing because the SWAC is in the same footprint as the SEC, if it becomes a thing to where it is real parity in a kid's mind, do I go to Auburn, Alabama State, or Grambling? Then, hey man, that's a problem for them because they haven't had to compete with that. If I get this kid on campus for HBCU homecoming, you know what I'm saying, and he can get an NIL deal, you know, at a minimum, it's going to drive the price up. At a minimum, the price goes up. You know what I'm saying?
All right, appreciate the call, though, Wills. I just think that's funny that if anything differs from what Coach Prime said, that you wouldn't care. So then that means anything that Coach Prime did was right. That's kind of how I feel. If you don't care that if Coach Prime is lying, or you don't care if Coach Prime is telling the truth, then it really doesn't matter how he responded to anything that Nick Saban said. That's just how I see it. Then there's no point. There's no point. Like maybe it's just me though. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what up, Scotty? Hey, I just got one thing for you, dude. Real quick. how much of that, like, because I agree with you 100%. I expected Deion to come out blazing fire, and he didn't. I was kind of let down because I woke up this morning looking for his response. How much of that do you think is Aflac made a call once they saw his tweet last night? They said, hey, we got a business here. We got a partnership with both of you guys.
Man,
we don't want this to get.
That's a damn.
How much of that do you think?
That's a damn good question. I think. Listen. Deion is all about the money. If Aflac did make that call, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, and he toned it down or whatever. But I don't know what he's saying on I Am Athlete right now. He could be saying whomever, whatever, whenever. But I do think Aflac, maybe in the back of his mind, played a small role into why he didn't go as hard as he could have. But at the end of the day, like, to me, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked the last guy. You're right. It must be the money. If Coach Prime is lying, should there be any backlash?
Shit, that's a good question. I think there should, if the money actually did come from Jackson State, or even if he set it up through Barstool. Because Barstool parent company is, I think, it's like $1 billion company.
Yeah.
So let's say if he set it up through Barstool and we found out that that's the only reason that was one of the main reasons Travis signed, then I think there should be backlash. There's nothing they could do because it's still an NIL, but I do think there should be a backlash towards Prime. And
so then, I don't know, man. This is so. It doesn't, because he didn't do anything wrong. Nothing like if it listen, and this is all hypothetical. I want to make that very clear. It's all hypothetical. If it ever comes out that Coach Prime gave Travis $1 million, he didn't do anything wrong. If he didn't do it, he still didn't do anything wrong. So the thing for me is like, why does Nick Saban even care? If it's not wrong, and if he did or didn't do it, it's not wrong, because you even said in your apology right here, it's not illegal. It wasn't illegal. So why the hell do you even care?
I think it's what you said earlier, Scotty, is that the fact that Nick Saban is trying to portray like, I'm just this super recruiter that just get 4 and 5 stars every year because I'm Nick Saban and I go into their house and I tell them what I'm going to do for them and I get them to the NFL. Now he's saying, oh shit, the game has changed. You guys are playing the game wrong. And I think that the fact that he said Jackson State, he's just throwing out, like, we're probably going to see more of this where top-notch kids are going to go to smaller or lesser schools because they're getting $1 million check. And I think you said it right. It's just the fact that this player was able to be enticed by money. Because even though he came out and apologized, Nick Saban in the bottom of his heart still believed that Jackson State somehow through Barstool, through somebody, gave this kid $1 million NIL deal to come. You ain't telling me nothing. He believed that from the bottom of his heart. He probably can't prove it, but he believed that's what happened.
That's fair. Hey, appreciate the call, my boy.
All right, dude.
All right, man. Hey, what's up, Drake? Talk to me. You live.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's good?
So I kind of sit there. I agree with everything you said. I would have pushed for a harder response. Nick Saban made a mistake where, it's almost like honor among thieves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna tell what you do.
That's fair. That's real.
And there are just some things you just don't do. Like, okay, I know, like, oh, this guy's from Hawaii. You hired his family, you hired his dad, and I ain't gonna say nothing, but you cannot sit there and call names. He should have just kept it general. If you kept, everybody knows Texas A&M is paying folks. Nobody's calling out no names though. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, to me, that is his big thing, as he called out names, and that's why he had to walk it back, because he's Nick Saban. He's St. Nick, 6-time champ. He ain't have to, but he got so much blowback. He had to.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I was Dan, I would have came a little bit stronger for me, but everybody else, it's almost like, okay, everybody else came strong as hell, and, being black, you come a little bit strong, and everybody's like, oh, this, that, and the other. So a lot of people came strong. It's almost like people was like, you know what? I understand you're a coach. There's only so much you can say. You know, I'm going to come for you because I ain't no coach. You see what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the people who went hard for him, they like, yo, I'm going to go hard for him because I understand you're a coach and you trying to do this, that, and the other. But I would have rather him, like I found out he's going to be on I Am Athlete tonight.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, he probably
so
just
I'm
got
interested
off.
to see what he says on that.
Yeah, he probably just got off. It was 7-9.
Yeah, so but yeah, Nick Saban, he's way out of line.
Hey, appreciate
and,
it. Okay.
You know, thanks.
No problem, Jay. Appreciate it. I like what Dre said, that honor amongst thieves. That honor amongst thieves. I like that. Hey guys, listen, if you calling in, please keep it short and sweet. Get to your points because I got a lot of people to call on. I'm trying to get everybody in here before 1:30. I mean, I got 15 minutes. All right, I got 15 minutes. So get your stuff in, hit your point, and get up out of here. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me.
What's up, Scotty? It's Cortez.
What's up, Cortez? What's up?
Hey, man, you hit a lot of stuff. You hit a lot of nails on the head. When you said the thing about the stereo getting stolen, I'm like, damn, I thought that too. But like, I'm gonna go down a conspiracy theory real quick. So like, I guess I'm a fan of Jackson State, from Jackson State. I guess the only reason I can see him, you know, like your wife, she was saying like how Shador, he don't cuss and stuff because he's marketable.
Yeah.
So I guess Deion gonna stay marketable. The only reason he would be marketable is like, shit, you plan on leaving sometime soon. But that's just conspiracy. But I guess the second end, on the other end of the spectrum, maybe all this but hoorah, they go ahead and get Travis the NIL deal with Affleck. Shit, they had a little commercial with the beef. Travis be up in there. Shit, it be all smooth.
That's real, Cortez. Let me say this. Let me say this. I'm gonna go back to your point what you said about if I'll say this. If Deion Sanders would have I'll say, you know, analogy wise, if he would have burnt the ship, if he was like, yo, if he would have went as hard as Jimbo did, I think the culture around Deion, win or lose, would have circled in a big ass wagon and protected him beyond belief. You know what I'm saying? Like
they would have. Where he messed up at, he shouldn't have said that initial tweet. Like, you drink all them 0% beers, you thought you was up drunk or something making that tweet. You know, yeah, you best believe him. And then now I see why you put the exclusive video out. I'm like, damn, he got us again. But like, nah, like he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that. He should have just let it ride just the same way you waited to see his response. He should have waited. And like, I feel like Jimbo ain't said no lie, because like I said, it was technicality. He said it wasn't illegal.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't say, yeah, we paid them boys out of our pocket. And then the same way, like Nick, he crying wolf, just like Deion did with the Shamar Stewart thing. But he ain't dropped no names, but we know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say.
No problem. Appreciate the call, Cortez. Real talk, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, let me tell you, I got some people on here. Listen, I'm trying to get you guys in and out. All right. So make your points in and out. Finisher, make your point in and out. 17, okay. Hey, what's up, Finisher? Talk to me.
Hey, real quick, Scotty. So I think the thing about Deion, I'm gonna make 2 points real quick.
Mm-hmm.
For Deion, I just think he just took an image hit by kind of cowering back like he did.
Mm-hmm.
He went after the guy, the guy at FAMU, just for dipping his toe into the transfer portal. He went hard as hell, but he couldn't say anything to save it. But here's the thing about Texas A&M. Alabama stated, Saban stated that Alabama had like $3 million in NIL deals.
Yeah.
Texas A&M reportedly spent $25 million.
Phew.
That's why he's pissed off, because he knows he's being outgunned, and he knows as much as those people in Alabama love that football team, they ain't got that kind of money in Alabama. They really don't. Even his high class boosters in Alabama who support and all in the state legislature and whatnot, they ain't got that kind of money, because if Texas A&M spent $25 million this year, they will spend $40 and $50 million next year if that's how the game is played. So I think that's where Saban is coming at. That's all I got, man.
No problem. Appreciate the call, man. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of money. I ain't gonna lie to you. $25 million is a lot of money. That's some deep pockets. Hey, listen, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe. Listen, If you missed it, I got the exclusive Deion Sanders response, the video, okay? The video. If you've missed it, if you did not catch, he did a written statement and he did a verbal statement. This is Deion Sanders' verbal statement towards what had went on in about the Nick Saban incident. This is the verbal exclusive, only found here on Off Script.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Oh.
That is exclusive footage. That is the exclusive footage of Deion Sanders responding back to Nick Saban. Okay, you can't find that anywhere else. Only here, live here on Off Script. All right, let me get back to these callers. Hey, callers, listen. Get to your points. Okay, I need you to get to your point and move on.
Live.
Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Here on Off Script. All right, let me get back to these callers. Hey,
What up, man?
What's goody?
Hey, all thing I was gonna say, I think you probably jumped the gun because he been announced he was gonna be on I Am Athlete when he put out the article.
Okay.
And you probably could have waited to see how his response was gonna be before you said it was weak. I think you jumped it too soon.
Stop. I'm gonna stop you right there. How did I jump the gun when Deion was promoting it all day? He is literally promoting the response all day, but I jumped the gun. Make that make sense.
And he's on I Am Athlete.
But he never promoted that. He didn't promote that all day. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna do a written statement and I'm gonna do an I Am Athlete." That's not what he said. He promoted that thing all day. He had a story with John Jock Taylor. He's like, "Oh yeah, we got habanero sauce. This hot sauce is hot." You know what I'm saying? And then that's what you do. That ain't nothing hot. That ain't no habanero.
And then you jumped the gun.
How did I jump the gun?
Anyway.
How did I jump the gun if he promoted it? Make that make sense. He promoted it.
Dude, you jumped the gun.
Go ahead. What's your next point? What's your next point? What's your next point?
And I felt like you twisted the last statement that the last statement talking about he wasn't talking to me or Fisher. You kind of twisted it into what is not really not. He was just talking about that setting that Nick Saban was in. It wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to get out. So he was talking to his money boosters, trying to get more money because only 25 players only got good deals. He only had 25 players that got good deals. So he's trying to get more money, and he's trying to use Texas A&M, and then he burned out Jackson State because he don't really fear Jackson State. He fear Deion influence. That's what if he fear anything, he fears Deion influence, and that's what Deion was pretty much getting at with. He wasn't talking to me or Fisher. He was talking to his boosters and his alumni.
Okay,
so that's what I feel it was.
I appreciate that, Coach Green. I appreciate your feelings. Thank you so much for calling. Let me see. Huh? What do you mean the dog? Yeah, that was his public statement. Was the dog? Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
He don't really state. What's going on, Scott?
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Eric, calling in from Germany.
Shout out to you from Germany.
What's going on? Hey, I'll be honest with you. If I was Jackson State, I'd be sending Nick a text like, "Can you talk bad about me tomorrow again?" Because all things being equal, every time Nick Saban say something bad about that school, that value of Jackson State just goes up. I just look at it in the backwards way. I just see it's
all publicity. All publicity is good publicity. All publicity is good publicity. Right. Go ahead.
That's like Stephen A. getting on Sports Center and be like, "Scotty don't know what he's talking about when it comes to the SWAC." You be a little bit petty, but I'm certain you'll live that up because you know them streams gonna go up, them views gonna go up, them followers gonna go up, and the subscribers gonna go up. So if he Jackson State, I will really be like, I'll send Nick Saban a check. Like, go ahead and just say something else bad about me, please, please. That's all I got to say, bro.
Hey, man, that's no problem. Hey, good call, bro. That's good. Hey, listen, man, you got to turn a negative into a positive. Turn a negative into a positive. All right, I got 2 callers left, Mr. Campbell. You either gonna call in or you're not, because once I get these 2 callers done, I'm out. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Yo, this is As We Awaken.
What's up, Wake? What's your point?
Just wanted to let you know that
turn your background down.
Nick Saban, one thing I don't like about him, he has a doctorate from Petty State University, and I know you know that school.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to trigger folks. That's what he does. That's what he does. So Deion, did he come off a little weak? Yeah, he did. But I want you to find in your petty heart to put out a petty prayer for Coach Prime. Could we have a moment of silence? That's all I got, man.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate it. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Scott, this is Gabriel from Memphis.
Hey, what's up, G?
Okay. Oh, what's going on, man? Look here. I'm like you. Now, when Brian made his statement, I'm thinking he gonna go all out on it, and then you dropped this little bit of stuff that he did. Okay. Now he talked about possibly enticing Travis Hunter with the $1 million NIL. What NIL did Travis Hunter get besides that damn black coffee?
And he got the teeth junk. He got his teeth fixed, so he got the teeth deal.
Okay. Now his son Shadura, what he got? Beats by Dre, Gatorade, and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So now I'm just gonna wait to see what he's gonna say on I Am Athlete, and if he don't go off on that, I'm gonna say Nick Saban straight punked him, because in order for him to do something like that, that shows just a little bit disrespect on his part. That's all I got to say.
No problem. Appreciate the call, man. All right, guys. What you guys all been waiting for? Mr. Campbell is the last caller for the night. All right, listen, we trying to get you guys to bed. All right, Mr. Campbell probably gonna be long, but we'll see. Hey, what's up, Mr. Campbell? You live? Talk to us.
What's going on, man?
What's good?
I'm coming in late, so I've tried to catch up. I went and saw Deion's response. I see why people are upset, but I got to put some perspective to all of this. And I'm going to try to lay this out because I'm going to end with Nick Saban and some historical stuff.
Okay.
So when I was upset, you know me, I was 38 hot when I saw, because I understood what Nick Saban was doing in his audience. I'll get to that. But here's the thing what people got to understand. And, of course, we want Deion to go Deion. But Deion is a college coach. And Deion is taking boys to men. And I'm not trying to quote a song, but I'm being honest. And every time you cannot react to an action. So sometimes we get upset, but sometimes we can't just go out there and fire a gun, pull out a knife, smack somebody upside the head like Will Smith, because there are consequences to the things that you say. So maybe Deion did think about, you know what? What am I going to do and say to Nick that could be detrimental to this university? What if I mess up this relationship that I have with Aflac and they're giving me millions of dollars, but I say something crazy? And then I put that CEO in a bad position where he can't keep sponsoring JSU because JSU damn sure needs that money. So we all have to think about things before we react. I mean, it sounds good, but when you're running a business, when you're leading people, you can't just run off emotion. Leaders don't run off emotion. Leaders are measured. Leaders have to think. So I don't want to hear people saying, because all of us have been at times where we've gotten mad, but we knew we could not act because of the consequences. So I don't call him a punk. I don't call him a sissy. I call him being a businessman because he's playing that thing 52 cars deep. So that's why he didn't probably go off and act a fool, because he understands what the perception would have been. Because, see, Nick Saban doesn't have to worry about perception. Nick Saban can say that senile shit that he said and nobody cares. Jimbo Fisher can allude to the stuff that Nick Saban said and nobody cares. But let Deion Sanders have said that. These are the things that we live in. See, I live in reality. See, I don't know what the rest of people, but see, as a black man, I live in black man's reality. So I applaud him for being a leader.
Negative.
Because that's how you lead men.
Negative. So
Well, hold on. No. So let me tell you something. I tell you what, I'm gonna let you.
My
respond.
point. This is my thing, Mr. Campbell. There's been numerous incidences where Deion has come against options or obstacles at Jackson State in a public forum. And I brought up those incidences. I was like, when the stuff got stolen at his office, when he first won the game and he got his stuff stolen, and everybody was like, yo, you don't put HBCU business on there like that. That was one. And then you called out Texas A&M low key for paying Shamar Stewart for not coming to because you said you had him locked in the bag. So you can't pick and choose when you want to throw shots and when you don't want to throw shots. No, his relationship with Nick Saban was something he wanted to keep a hold of, and that's why he came as soft as he did. He was like, yo, that's my guy. I do. Even in the article, he says, I have a love, respect, and admiration for Nick Saban. So it's because of his relation. That's like if I see you do something wrong, Mr. Campbell, I'm like, damn, like Mr. Campbell, that's my guy. Like I can't go too hard because that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, do I feel bad that you said that about me? Yeah, but I can't go as hard as I would like to because we have a personal relationship. But go ahead.
Okay, well, you're proving my point. So that's exactly my point. So that's called maturity. So exactly. So he for whatever the reason he bagged that relationship, which does make sense from a business standpoint. And I'm gonna roll back to what you just said. Trust me, and I know this for a fact. There were many people from the NFL and from business people that deal with say, bro, you can't be rolling like that. You can't be going off half cocked. Sometimes it's called growth, bro. That was a year ago. I don't expect you to act the same way 2 years from now because you'll be 35. I expect you to be different. I don't expect you to be the same. I expect growth out of everybody that I deal with. So I look at more as growth. You look at it where he missed his shot. I looked at what you just said. I looked at that being smart because there might be a relationship. He might say, you know what? This one right here ain't worth me shooting my gun. Me and you have conversations all the time. And I say, you know what? This is not me worth shooting my gun over. I got to pick and choose when I come on your show and say what I say. Because I have relationships that I have to deal with on people. Because this at FAMU, I can go hard because I know shit, as you well know. But I understand the bigger picture. So now, let me roll to something that I want everybody to understand. When Nick Saban said what he said about Jackson State, that was not a throwaway line. I want them, so like somebody said, understand his audience. And I know this for a fact. Many of those white boosters cannot understand how the hell did Travis Hunter go to Jackson State. Because you know why? Because they've been paying motherfuckers for 50 fucking years. They are shocked. And I'm telling you, behind the scenes, those boosters said, Nick, how did that end go from Georgia down there to that end college? And you know what? He had a moment and he let it slip. But let me tell you guys something. I hear people say, well, Mr. Campbell, that's only one. Nick doesn't care. Well, let me give you all a little bit of history. Since some of you all don't like to understand it, but I'm going to give it to you all. Back in 1971, Alabama didn't even have any black football players. Zero. Y'all know the story. USC came down there, ran the shit out of them. Bear Bryant said, we need some of those. And you know what those black people in Alabama said? Oh, ain't no black people ever going to Alabama. They ain't going to never let no black people in Alabama. But guess what? He got one. Now, 51 years later, you see what happens with one? But see, white people understand history. That's the reason why when you go back historically, you see they try to stop revolutions. You see they try to stop rebellions because they know if one starts it, you can get two. So that's the reason why the plantation owners did not let the slaves communicate with each other. Because they knew if they start communicating, well, if they start rebelling here, they'll start rebelling there. Because here's another thing that I know. And trust me that this happens. You got all those kids from Jackson State that are transferred in, or even kids like Kevin Coleman and Travis Hunter. Hey, dog, what's going on down there? Hey, man, we getting ready to go to the Steph show. We hanging out on the plaza. We having a damn good time. What you doing? Man, we over here lifting weights, bro. Well, what y'all going to do up there? Play video games. Because it's not built for them. See, the white man understands it because the only way these guys come is that they have to pay them. If you have to pay somebody $25 million to come to your university, guess what? He really didn't want to come. He really didn't want to be there. So this is nothing new for Texas A&M. They've been paying the bag forever and they got shit out of it. So when Nick let that slip, I understood what he was saying, because that same audience is the same audience that has constantly in Alabama dominated and tried to hold black people down. Those same old heads, because those were old heads, the ones that didn't really want black people to come to Alabama. Those were those old heads he was talking to. Understand the audience that he was saying. So when Nick and them, they do fear that, because the hold that they have on the black athlete is not a true hold. It is a Faustus bargain. It is not something that they go back and sit back and say, these guys want to be here. They've been paying guys forever. They don't want to be there if I got to pay you. They don't. This is fact. So that's why he let that slip, because you don't want that one. Because Travis Hunter, if he shows out, because that's the whole thing, oh, well, don't go to Jackson State, you ain't going to get drafted. What if Travis Hunter shows out, does what he potentially do, and he's a first-round pick? Uh-oh. You think Nick wants that? Because then 2 becomes 3, 3 becomes 4, 4 becomes 5, just like it did in 1971, because black folks were sleeping and never thought that Alabama would let black people in, because history has said otherwise. But see, I know history. So when I see a white man do that, I understand why he steps on rebellion, because he knows when we start uniting and getting together, things change. So do not be fooled by why Nick Saban dropped in it, because that was punching below his weight. Him going at Texas A&M, I get that. Him talking about Miami getting it, there was no reason for him. And then what he said, out of the schools he named, he only lied on Jackson State. Jackson State doesn't have $1 million, and Jackson State, the university, did not pay Travis Hunter. So that is a lie. So he lies on the black school with no problem. So think about that. This man is too smart. Give this man more credit. This man ain't no idiot. He knew exactly what he was saying and why he said it. Let's be clear. So that's my thing that I want people to understand when I heard Nick Saban say Jackson State. Because that was a bigger shot, because all those alumni have saying how we prevent this, because he talks to those players every day. He knows those players don't like Alabama. I told you, I had a cousin play over there at Auburn. I knew exactly what was going on. I know all those guys from Miami, all those guys from Florida State. They have never, ever loved those schools like I love FAMU. Like those people from Jackson State love Jackson State or Valley or Southern. They don't. It is a business deal for them. Shamari Stewart, that's why Deion said, take your ass down there to Texas A&M. Because you know what? He really didn't want to go. But I'm not mad at him. Somebody give you $1 million, he got to take care of his family. I understand it. That's a business deal. But that's not where his heart is at. You ask all these kids where their heart is at. See, and that's the thing. Sometimes you can't hide from your heart. But the white man pays you to do that. So that's the thing about it, man. So let's be honest. Let's understand what happened here and what's going on from a historical point of view. Because you guys act like because you guys don't know this. And you go, oh, it's only one. But see, I understood what one meant, because I saw how one happened. Because you know what's so funny? LSU and Ole Miss didn't even get black players until 72. Think about that. That ain't like 100 years ago. That was in the 70s that the SEC held on for dear life to be segregated. You guys don't understand this. You guys see the Alabamas and Auburn and y'all cheer and go Roll Tide. I understand what those crackers are about. Because I know what they did, I know what they said, because I know my history, because my mother raised me to know my history. My grandfather raised me to know my history, because my grandfather went to Jackson State. He was educated. He was an educated black man. So he did not tell me that the white man's ice was colder. And he told me about how Alabama, University of Alabama, and Ole Miss was waving their rebel flags. That's why I have no love for Ole Miss, because they raised their rebel flag all the way into the 80s. To the 80s, man. This is real talk. So don't dismiss the stuff like it's nothing. Understand your history and know why people do what they do. See, you guys don't understand that. I do. That's why I'm here for you, to back you up, to give you this perspective and to give you this knowledge. So that's what happened with that. So that's it, man. That's the real deal. 100%.
Got you, Mr. Campbell. Appreciate the call.
All right, brother. Love you.
All right, let me make something very clear. There is no proof for or against that Jackson State has paid Travis Hunter. So you cannot 100% say that he was not paid, and you cannot 100% say he was paid. So that is just up in the air. And even if he was, it's not illegal. So who gives a damn? Who cares? Now you can say Jackson State, the school, did not pay Travis Hunter. You can say that all day. All right. You can say that all day, twice on Sunday. Okay. You can say that all day, every day. But you cannot 100% say he was not, and you cannot 100% say he was. So that's just up in the air. And once again, like I said, even if he was paid by whomever, if he was or if he wasn't, it was not illegal. It was not illegal. So it's all fair in love and war. So even if he did get paid, Jackson State had every right to do so because other Power Fives are doing it anyway. Okay, so that it doesn't even matter. Yeah, okay, cool. 1, 2, 5, 7, 9, 10, whatever. But that's my here nor there. At the end of the day, I get what Mr. Campbell's saying. History, one is the start of many. But my thing is this. I just as much as Mr. Campbell went hard on Nick Saban, to me, you just gotta go just as hard on Deion. You cared more about what your relationship was with Nick Saban to defend your reputation and to defend Jackson State. You can say I'm wrong. I don't give a damn. You can say I'm right. I don't care. I'm just telling you what it is. All right. Because at the end of the day, if I make you feel some type of way, I don't care. Okay. So my personal opinion is this. I've seen Deion go hard on a lot of subjects and topics. And I felt like if you felt your integrity, if you felt your word, if you felt listen, and I said it earlier, once you as a black man say you best believe, once you say you best believe as a black person, you giving all the smoke. You giving all the smoke, and no smoke was given. And I'm sad and I'm disappointed. But appreciate y'all. Make sure you like the stream before you get up out of here. All 500 of you guys. I don't think I might be doing a show tomorrow, so stay tuned to that. Until next time, oh, no. Before I get up out of here, I will be doing a show tomorrow, and it will be a very good show. And for anybody and all the people on the spaces, I got something for you. So until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.